Failure is not failure. Now, what am I talking about? Failure is not failure until you tell yourself it is. We've heard massive success stories of individuals, and what most people understand is those individuals went through multiple amounts of failure before they succeeded. It's almost like failure is the burn that gets them over the line because they're sick and tired of failing. Some see it differently. Because I failed so much, I'm so close to succeeding. I'll give you some examples. You got J.K. Rowling. She went to 12 publishers. They all said no. 13th time, one said yes. Bloomsbury published a book. Published 1,000 copies, 500 went to public libraries. Now 400 million copies of Harry Potter have been sold globally. But if she stopped on the 12th, Harry Potter would be non-existent. And J.K. Rowling would not be the success story that she is now. Colonel Sanders, some of you might have heard of him, KFC. They started KFC. Colonel Sanders started at age 65. I don't know what most people do at age 65. I don't think they'll be trying to start a business. They'll probably be looking into retirement. Colonel Sanders had $105 in his social security check when he started going to companies and asking for them to endorse their recipe. 1,009 times Colonel Sanders tried. Knocked on 1,009 doors, all said no. The 1,010th one said yes, and now KFC is a multi-million-dollar industry. Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison failed between 1,000 to 10,000 times before he created the incandescent light bulb. 1,000 to 10,000 times. And this is the guy that the teacher told him was not smart. Couldn't amount to anything. Now, I don't know what most people do, but 10,000 tries is ridiculous. But what I remember so much about Edison is when a reporter asked him, look, you've tried this many times, don't you just want to stop and just say, call it quits? Edison was like, why would I do that? I figured out 1,000 to 10,000 ways where this does not work. That means I'm one step closer to finding out a way that it would work. That mindset is ridiculous. And that's why he was one of the greatest inventors, because of that mindset. For him, if he failed once, he's one step closer. If he failed 10 times, he's one step closer. If he failed 1,000 times, he's one step closer. If he failed 10,000 times, he's even closer, because he had that much failure. So you see, failure is not failure until you tell yourself it is. I failed multiple times. When I got into one of the biggest fears I had, or one of the biggest failures I had, was I wasn't very good at talking up front. I used to get nervous when I first went out. I was nervous. And one of the reason why we stop after the first failure is fear. Susan Jeffers wrote a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And one of the number one fears when she numbered them was public speaking. Now you probably heard this. A lot of people have used it, that would rather die instead of speaking in front of a group of people. See, for me, I wanted to get confident in my ability to speak. So I joined Toastmasters at the start of last year, just because I needed to get out and speak. Obviously, the first one I did, I was nervous. The second one was I was nervous, but I improved, and it got to a point where people were giving out, asking for people to speak, and I'm more than happy put up my hand and look, I'll go speak for your organization, or I'll go speak for whatever function you've got on. I'm more than happy to speak, because I wanted to keep growing. It's fine if you develop public speaking in a group, but you get very comfortable in that group where you can present anything. But when I moved out of that group and presented to a different cohort of people, completely different, I was even more nervous, because it's a different bunch of people. Most people don't understand. Every time I go up, I'm still nervous, but I grow. See, failure stopped me for so long that I had enough of it. Now I just went up to speak and I got better and better, and the failure went, and I no longer feel it anymore in this part of my life, in the speaking part. Obviously there's failure. I still fail a lot in other sectors, and that stops me, because of fear comes in, and fear stops me from attempting again, and I'm overcoming that slowly, because I've already overcome one aspect of my life. Therefore I can use that and use as motivation for another aspect of my life. You see, we've all got fears. We do. I don't know why we have them. I don't know where we get it from. It might be environment. It might be, I don't know, school. But almost failure is looked down upon. And then when we do fail so many times, we become scared of it. So therefore, fear comes into the mix. And that's when things start to get a bit messy. Well, let me tell you this. You are going to fail. But the good thing is you will succeed if you don't stop. See, failure might hurt for a small time, but failing and stop would hurt internally. It would hurt you for the rest of your life if you stop trying. Like, keep going. You've already failed. You're only one step closer to succeeding. One of Eric Thomas's students, when one came up to him, they came up to him crying. And he asked him, look, you're crying. Why you want to quit? Why do you want to quit? You're crying. Like, you might as well get something out of it. You're already here. You're already so emotionally indebted, and get a reward from it. From this crime, from this emotional downturn, get a reward. And your reward is go through it and succeed. And you can do it. So go ahead and fail and fail and fail, because that's going to perpetuate you to growth, and growth, consistent growth, I believe, equals success.